watching GVTV News.
Thanks, Gloria, and I'm Randy Hansen. In today's world news headlines, Colorado shooting suspect appears in court. A U.S. drone strike kills 9 in Pakistan. And toll hits 116 in Iraq's deadliest day of the year. And out of Syria, violence rages in Aleppo, 8 killed in prison protests. And Syrian officials say foreign invasion would be met by chemical weapons. And another report says U.S. ramping up support for Syrian rebels. And rain kills nearly 100 in China, and typhoon slams Hong Kong. And Brooks and Coulson face charges in Murdoch phone hacking scandal. And AIDS activists to demand Robin Hood tax on Wall Street. And woman's body carved with anti-LGBTQ slurs in Nebraska attack. And first court-martial begins on the hazing death of the Chinese-American Army private Danny Chen. And Texas car crash kills 14 undocumented immigrants. And out of Georgia court halts death row execution over single drug concerns. And Sally Ride, first U.S. woman in space, dies at the age of 61. Grass Valley News is broadcast on Grass Valley Television, a division of Rural County's television network whose focus is on community involvement. We also air on NCTV, but before these stories, GVTV News would like to thank one of our underwriters who supports your only visual video news media in Nevada County. That's right, it's us. GVTV News. In today's first world news story, Aurora shooting suspect James Holm made his first court appearance on Monday, days after allegedly killing 12 people and wounding dozens more in a shooting rampage at a local movie theater. District Attorney Carol Chambers of the Colorado's Arapahoe County said prosecutors have yet to decide if they will seek the death penalty. She said the death penalty decision has to be made within 60 days of the arraignment, so it is a month down the line still, but we will over the course of the month be talking with all the victims, developing relationships just so we know who we are and they're going to find it out. Holmes appeared dazed and unresponsive throughout the proceedings, forcing his court-appointed attorney to answer the judge's question on his behalf. Around 40 relatives of the shooting victims were seated in the courtroom when Holmes appeared. Both President Obama and Republican candidate Mitt Romney continued to reject calls for stricter gun controls in shooting aftermath. On Monday, Romney said, "I still believe that the Second Amendment is the right course to preserve and defend. I don't believe that new laws are going to make a difference in this type of tragedy." At least 9 people have been killed in a U.S. drone strike in northwest Pakistan. Pakistani officials say the victims were suspected militants, but the Obama administration policy is to deem all adult male drone targets as militant unless evidence emerges after their deaths. Bombing and gun attacks continue across Iraq on Monday, bringing the one-day death toll to 116. It was Iraq's deadliest day of violence this year. Most of the attacks targeted Shiite Muslims. And clashes are raging in the Syrian city of Aleppo as government troops and rebel forces battle for control. Syrian activists say at least 8 prisoners were killed overnight when Syrian soldiers crushed a protest inside a remote jail. And on Monday, the Syrian government drew international rebukes after vowing to use chemical weapons in the event of an attack by foreign countries. The Syrian Foreign Ministry spokesperson, Jihad Makdisa, said any stocks of WMD or any unconventional weapons that Syrian Arab Republic possesses would never be used against civilians or against Syrian people during this crisis at any circumstances, no matter how the crisis would evolve, no matter how. So this is the title. All the stock of these weapons that the Syrian Arab Republic possesses are monitored and guarded by the Syrian army. These weapons are meant to be used only and strictly in the event of external aggression against the Syrian Arab Republic. Speaking during a campaign trip in Nevada, President Obama said Syrian President Bashar al-Assad should be held accountable were he to use chemical weapons. Obama also vowed to continue aiding Syria's armed rebels. Oh, we've done that? Oh. He said, given the regime's stockpile of chemical weapons, we will continue to make it clear to Assad and those around him that the world is watching and they will be held accountable for the international community and the United States should they make the tragic mistake of using those weapons. And we will continue to work with our friends and allies in the Syrian opposition on behalf of the day when the Syrian people have the government that respects their basic rights to live in peace and freedom and dignity. Obama's comments on backing the Syrian opposition came amidst new details of U.S. support for Syrian rebels. What a surprise. A Wall Street Journal reports the United States has worked behind the scenes to block weapons and oil shipments to Assad's regime from Iran and passing intelligence to Syrian rebels through the Jordanian and Turkish governments. And drenching rains have swept across China, leaving nearly 100 people dead, including 37 in the capital of Beijing. Beijing saw its heaviest rains in 6 decades over the weekend as flood waters submerged cars and tens of thousands of people were evacuated from their homes. Some have questions whether the infrastructure gaps left by the city's rapid modernization compounded the damage. Meanwhile, the strongest typhoon to hit Hong Kong in 13 years has left more than 100 people injured and flooded several areas. Typhoon Vicente reached southern China Tuesday in the form of a tropical storm, prompting evacuations of tens of thousands of people. Some scientists have warned the spat of recent extreme weather events mark a preview of a permanent future under global warming. And British prosecutors have announced plans to charge 8 people over the phone hacking scandal that engulfed the Rupert Murdoch News international media empire. Company's News of the World tabloid was shut down last year following revelations executives and reporters had conspired to hack into the phones and intercept the communications of hundreds of people. Among those charged are former News International chief executive Rebecca Brooks, pictured here, and top aide and close confidant of Rupert Murdoch, and Andy Coulson, the former spokesperson of British Prime Minister David Cameron. The International AIDS Conference continued in Washington, D.C. on Monday with a keynote speaker by Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. Addressing the conference opening session, Clinton touted the Obama administration's reversal of the 20-year-old ban that prevented people infected with HIV from entering the United States. Clinton also said the United States seeks to achieve an AIDS-free generation. And she said, "Let me say 5 words we have not been able to say for too long. Welcome to the United States. I've heard a few voices from people raising questions about America's commitment to the AIDS-free generation, wondering whether we are really serious about achieving it. Well, I am here today to make it absolutely clear the United States is committed and will remain committed to achieving an AIDS-free generation. We will not back off, we will not back down, we will fight for the resources necessary to achieve this historic milestone." Protests have been held around the conference to oppose U.S. policies banning the inclusion of sex workers and to call for increased funding of AIDS treatment worldwide. A march on the White House is scheduled for, well, the other day, to push the Robin Hood tax on Wall Street transactions to fund global aid programs. And police in Lincoln, Nebraska say that they're investigating a potential anti-LGBTQ crime in a brutal attack by 3 masked assailants on a woman in her home. Attackers entered the 33-year-old victim's home early Sunday morning, tied her up, and then carved anti-LGBTQ slurs into her body with a knife. Hateful graffiti was also sprayed on the walls. Hours of an attack. Hundreds of Lincoln residents held a vigil as a woman received treatment in a local hospital of her wounds. Attack comes ahead of a public vote in Lincoln on a proposal that would ban discrimination in housing and employment based on a person's sexual orientation or gender identity. First of 8 U.S. soldiers charged in the death of Army Private Danny Chen is set to face court-martial in North Carolina's Fort Bragg. 19-year-old Chinese-American Chen allegedly took his own life just weeks after he was deployed to Afghanistan in last October. His family says Chen had been abused by comrades on almost a daily basis, including racist hazing, with soldiers throwing rocks at him, calling him ethnic slurs, and forcing him to do push-ups or hang upside down with his mouth full of water. All 8 accused soldiers were Chen's superiors in the rank. First soldier in the stand trial, Sergeant Adam Michael Holcomb, is one of the 5 soldiers whose multiple charges, including the most serious offense of causing Chen's death through negligence. A group of family members and supporters are traveling to Fort Bragg to attend the trial. And police in South Texas say all 14 people who died in the car crash Sunday night were undocumented immigrants from Mexico, Honduras, and Guatemala. The victims were traveling in a pickup truck when it swerved off the road and crashed into 2 trees. 9 people survived. Georgia Supreme Court has granted a stay of execution to a death row prisoner who had been scheduled to die Monday night. The Supreme Court ruled unanimously Monday to delay Warren Hill's execution pending a decision on whether a new one-drug lethal injection process violates state laws. Hill was convicted of murder in 1991 and sentenced to die. Despite a concern he may be mentally disabled, 2 judges have ruled Hill is likely mentally retarded, but has been unable to pass Georgia's strict guidelines requiring proof beyond a reasonable doubt. And Sally Ride, the first female U.S. astronaut in space, has died at the age of 61. Ride made history as a part of a crew aboard a Challenger spaceflight in 1983. She returned to space in another mission a year later. In a statement announcing her death, Ride's foundation confirmed the first time that she was a lesbian with a longtime female partner of 27 years. Ride's sister, Bear Ride, said, "I hope it makes it easier for kids growing up gay that they know that another one of their heroes was like them." And that's it for World News today. Now another thanks to one of our underwriters who supports your only visual video news media in Nevada County. That's right, it's us, GVTV News.
Soundcheck Music Center, the Rock and Roll Connection. We have guitars, amps, drum equipment, sound accessories, lessons, and repairs. We are located at 671 Maltman Drive, Grass Valley. 530-272-7236, open 7 days a week.
No one needs anyone, they don't even just pretend. Jonah's in America. I'm afraid of Americans. I'm afraid of the world. I'm afraid I can't help it. I'm afraid I can't. I'm afraid of Americans. I'm afraid of the world. I'm afraid I can't.
That's right, it's time for the police blotter, and pictures in a blotter not from these actual events but used for visual aid only. These public records are obtained from daily logs issued from Nevada County Law Enforcement, Grass Valley Police Department. On Sunday, 8:14 a.m., a report was taken of a 1994 Toyota Camry stolen from the 200 block of South Church Street. A be on the lookout advisory was issued. At 8:42 a.m., a report was taken of a burglary on the 200 block of Fairmont Drive. And at 9:20 a.m., a report was taken that someone broke a front window on the 700 block of East Main Street. And 5:35 p.m., a report was taken that 3 men stole a grocery cart full of food from the 600 block of Freeman Lane. Items were returned. And at 6:54 p.m., a report of a teen stealing alcohol was taken from the 100 block of Neal Street. 11:06 p.m., a report from a woman who said someone stole a car, but then they returned it. And Monday, 1:50 a.m., a report was taken that 4 boys were talking about hiding from police from Cherry Lane, but they could not be located. And 4:41 a.m., a man reported that 2 teens were trying to get into his Mustang. And Nevada County Sheriff's Office on Sunday, 9:11 a.m., a report was taken of a large youth party the night before on Bragg Avenue. And 10:49 a.m., a report of road rage was taken from Highway 49 and Alta Sierra Drive. And 12:01 p.m., a report of green jelly that jiggled found in a front yard on 11,000 block of New York Canyon Road was taken. At 12:57 p.m., a report of 2 wine signs stolen was taken from Highway 20 and Penn Valley Drive. And 1:33 p.m., a report of trailer being vandalized was taken from the 14,000 block of Sun Rock Road. At 2:34 p.m., a report of car windows being vandalized and tire lug nuts loosened was taken from 14,000 block of Idaho, Maryland Road. At 3:16 p.m., a report of shooting from I think it's Dead Man's Flat, was taken. At 5 p.m., a report was taken of a stolen wooden chair on the 10,000 block of Douglas Lane. And 7:17 p.m., a report of a person refusing to leave was taken from the 1,000 block of Goodyear Drive. And Nevada City Police Department on Sunday, at 4:14 p.m., a report of a bikini-clad woman running around drunk and yelling on Broad Street was taken, but she was not located. 9:38 p.m., a report was taken of people yelling under a balcony on 200 block of Broad Street. And that's it today for the blotter. Now, another thanks to one of our underwriters who supports your only visual video news media in Nevada County. That's right, it's us, GVTV News. Christopher's Old World Deli and Catering Company has brought its delicious food and service downtown Grass Valley. Like desserts? They got 'em. You like international style lunches? They got 'em. Christopher's Deli and Catering for parties, get-togethers, weddings, or whatever. Open 7 days a week. In today's local news headlines, host families sought for French exchange students. Nevada County Arts on-site tribute trail projects received $25,000 NEA grant and 6 months of drug and rehab for Grass Valley man, and other court news. In a story out of Nevada City Advocate, the nonprofit World Exchange seeks host families for French students who have arrived on August 1st in Nevada County for a 20-day stay. Several had been placed in families, but 4 were still looking for a place at the time of this story. The student range in age is 15 to 18 and are fairly fluent in English. They're also come fully insured and ample spending money. World Exchange will take the students on 2-day trips, one to San Francisco, one to Squaw Valley, and there'll also be farewell party featuring an American tradition. These activities are optional and not intended to conflict with the host family's plans. The exchange students who still need to host family are well, there is a Thomas. He's 16, speaks English, Spanish, and Chinese, and plays tennis, loves to swim, and lives near Versailles. And Arnaud, 15, speaks English and German, likes animals, plays with jazz band, and lives near Paris. And Vincent, 15, speaks English and Spanish and plays tennis, loves pets, and lives in a village near Paris. And Theo, 17, speaks English and Spanish, likes bicycle swimming and basketball, and lives north of Paris. If you're interested in hosting, if they're still around, you can call Linda Turner at 477-7706. That's 477-7706. And Nevada County Arts has been awarded a $25,000 matching grant from the National Endowment of Arts, Our Town Initiative. The grant will support the Arts On-Site Tribute Trail Project, a juried exhibition of environmental art that celebrates the history, culture, and ecology of the Deer Creek Tribute Trail in Nevada City, California. Art On Site is among 80 projects funded nationwide, one of only 4 in the state of California. The project will continue the collaborative work already begun by Nevada City, Nevada County, and Sierra Fund, and 15 other environmental, educational, and historic organizations that serve the region. Sierra Fund is delighted to be working with the Nevada County Arts, building capacity to do creative environmental arts projects that enhance public appreciation of the newly completed Tribute Trail, said Izzy Martin, the CEO of the Sierra Fund. When completed in the summer of 2013, Art On Site will exhibit 10 temporary environmental artworks along the trail. Art will be selected by a jury of local and regional art experts, soon to be announced. According to the announcement from the NEA, the grantee projects are selected for their ability to improve quality of life, encourage creative activity, and create community identity and sense of place, and help revitalize local economies. All of our town grant awards were made to partnerships that consisted of not-for-profit arts organizations and local government entities. Cities and towns are transformed when you bring art, both literally and figuratively, into the center of them, said NEA Chairman Rocco Landsman. I am proud to be partnering with these 80 communities and their respective arts, civic, and elected leaders. Art On Site is a project that will showcase the most attractive features of Nevada City in one place through art, said Nancy Fleming, Art On Site Steering Committee Chairperson. For those who live in and visit our community, this is a natural and perfect fit. Our selection by the NEA is also testimony to our ability to engage so many local organizations for a single purpose, continued Fleming. We are grateful to Nevada City and to all who have supported the project so far. We are honored and excited to be receiving this prestigious NEA grant, which requires a 1-to-1 match, said Nancy Nelson, Nevada County Arts Board member and Art On-Site Steering Committee member. This will greatly help jumpstart fundraising for this wonderful and truly collaborative project, she also stated. Art On-Site Tribute Trail is a managed fund of the Sierra Fund, nonprofit community foundation dedicated to restoration and preservation and protection of the Sierra Nevada. For more information to make a contribution to the Art On-Site, you can visit the sierrafund.org/philanthropy/Art On-Site. Well, there's a dash between the on-site. Art On-Site Tribute Trail partners. The primary partners are Nevada County Arts, the City of Nevada City, and the Sierra Fund. To date, additional partners include American River, Bear Yuba Land Trust, Bureau of Land Management, Chinese Quarter Society, Foothills Nielsen of the Nevada City Rancheria, Greater Champion Neighborhood Association, and Nevada City School of the Arts in Nevada County Economic Resource Council, Sierra Streams Institute, Friends of Deer Creek, Circle, Tribute Trail Associations, Siakam Maidu, and Yuba something. I just can't read that fast today. To date, the NEA has awarded more than $4 billion to support artistic excellence, creativity, and innovation for the benefit of individuals and communities. The NEA extends its work through partnerships with state arts agencies, local leaders, other federal agencies, and the philanthropic sector. So if you support arts, you should check this stuff out. According to a story written by Liz Keller of the Union, it seems like a Grass Valley man offered a lot of negotiation and has received a sentence of 300 days in jail and 6 months of drug treatment. Christopher Joel Argento accepted the sentence with one felony case and almost a dozen misdemeanor ones. His main case was when he ran into a planter with his car. CHP found 32 pounds of marijuana in it, located in Highway 49 and Comrie Road. It seemed he ran over that planter. He ended up pleading to driving under the influence and having prior and suspended license and transporting marijuana for sale. He had another arrest on May 16th of this year where the Grass Valley Police Department found a dagger and he was driving without a license. They stopped him for speeding. He also found a drug paraphernalia and throwing knives hidden in the side door of his car. He had another charge carrying a concealed weapon when he was on work release, which he pleaded no contest to. Another court trial was Samuel Lerma Gage, 19, who was arrested after he allegedly was found with a loaded gun during a traffic stop. He was searched as a passenger, and the gun and the ammo, allegedly, were found in his pocket. Later, he was rearrested when he showed up at the Grass Valley Police Department and found to have meth in his pocket. He was directed to go to drug treatment program on this last arrest. And that's it for local news today. We'd like to thank Amy Goodman, Reuters, Associated Press, Yubanet, Sierra Foothills Report, local law enforcement, the union, and others for the sourcing of our news, and you for watching. Due to a complaint from the local paper, we will no longer be using their reported stories except for pieces of them. And I guess I would overstep my bounds with the new powers to be there. I understand we might do some of the same stories since it's local news and we believe in fair use. Remember, we are only visual video news media in Nevada County. We are free for you to watch 7 days a week. You have local stories and you would like to have them aired on our news, please email us. Limit your stories to 750 words, and if you have pictures, please include them in the email to grassvalleytelevision@gmail.com. Include some type of contact information for verification of facts. You can watch this broadcast on Comcast Cable NCTV Channel 11 in Nevada County, 8 a.m., 3 p.m., 7:30 p.m., Monday through Friday, and 10:30 a.m. on Saturday and 8 p.m. on Sunday. Suddenlink Channel 16 in Truckee and Alta Sierra. We're also streamed on the internet at NCTV's Digital Media Center website, NevadaCountyTV.org, and our site, GVTV.org, and we have many sites. Just search under GVTV or GVTV News on Google. You'll find a ton of them. Our GrassValleyTelevision.com plays 24/7 other content. We post to Facebook, YouTube, Blip.tv, many other podcast sites, and we have an RSS feed and a free iTunes podcast, video podcast. Just search under GVTV News. Grass Valley Television also videotapes local events around Nevada County, so if you want more information about that, you can send us an email, grassvalleytelevision@gmail.com, or call us at 362-8889. This show produced by Grass Valley Television, a division of Rural County's television network. We hope you will stay tuned to our new season, and we're going to spice up the news in the future. Please email us with ideas and comments. We'd like to hear from you, and like us on Facebook if you can. We have about 4 or 5 spots there. News Player can be on your site. You can get fresh news updated daily. We have more hours. Well, I already told you about the hours, but if you want to embed our video player on your site, you can, and it's updated automatically every day. Or you can get an RS feed and use the Google Reader, which is a good program. We should expand our amount of times that we're going to be on in the future. Here's our newest underwriter, Political Smile, the Empower Network viral blog. This unique site has several portals like Facebook page and Facebook groups, 2 of them, and 2 blog sites, and they're going to be tied to GVTV News and Grass Valley Television and Rural County's Television Network. Best landing zone in the website on the net is http://politicalsmile.wordpress.com. Plenty of laughs and information. And that's it for today, and I hope you guys have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you Monday.